I'm going to come on here. I'm going to say this real quick. Real quick. Now, how many of the 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 20 million soldiers are there out there that really believe there's a war going on? Now, if there is a war, what the fuck is the war? So you're out there to fight a war that's not our business. Right, that's it. I mean, otherwise it's none of your business. Everybody, eventually, nobody would be worrying. Or we'd all be worrying. Take your arms, throw them in the garbage, or turn around and put your country under arrest. You own all the arms, put your country under arrest. Then I asked myself, was it Christopher Columbus who came here? Who did he talk to? What, was America just empty? Or did he speak to the Indians and made a deal with the Indians? And really, if you want to look at it, maybe it's the Indians in control of everything. They run everything by the month. Maybe it is the Indians that run everything. Since one of 7286, okay, is from the Arctic, all of them stand out in the cold places. All 7286 is where it's cold. Both Antarctica south and north. Baffin Islands, basically none of it. And like Carrera or something, ocean. So maybe it is the Indians. They devised this greatest of greatest plans. Or maybe the Indians, because when it's below Australia, 7286, you can say that comes basically from the Indian Ocean, one sort of another. How they ended up with Indians all over the world, and then all of a sudden Indians near Asia. Apparently they're different Indians. But now I'm starting to question myself. Maybe they split up that way only because they wanted to make sure they weren't going to get taken advantage of. And then, maybe I'm wrong. But this world we live in, dinosaurs, whatever you want, this is a whole scientific world, my friend. How we're going to break down and what's going to break up, I don't know. But I do know this. 2 cats, the orphan children, mostly I see the cats hanging around on the street more than dogs, hungry for food. Same as they showed on Bugs Bunny. The cats, 2 cats, in French it means 44, Barack Obama and the space. That's what it means, 2 cats. They just intertwined this game of roulette, and they have some kind of electronic game that shows specifically a set of numbers that were chosen called orphan. And the totals in the number are 5775 or 7557. Same numbers I've been speaking about. That's in 2 years. I take that as the end cycle, since it came into a gambling game and is basically old for Europe but new for, I guess, North America, I'm guessing. Barack Obama, Emetzian Teitse Torah, Udvar Yanardvar Adonai, Baruch Obama. Be perfect, sure. He fits right in there with them. So obviously for the New Year's, the present he's going to get, which is time of the chicken, the reason for that is because it comes in the Hebrew New Year, which is 2014, and in the English, in the Gregorian calendar, it's going to be 2015, letters T and O. Okay? Also 2015 is 20 plus 15, it's 35, it's kickoff. It's takeover time. I mean, I can't make the relationship. 2015 is T and O, time out. So it's a timeout in 1776. That happens to be this year between May 4th and May 11th. It would be something to do with the Tea Party. I don't know why. Something to do with an international contract and the Tea Party. Don't forget, it was the TP that they set up. The 20th letter and the 16th letter was 36. That was creation. So they used the teepee as one of the formations of creation. But is it the Indians that were this smart to figure this out? Like, it's a system, don't forget. The Indians learned this one learned this one learned this. Everybody learned something different. And now we're coming to the end of the tracks. Who's the reality? Who knows about computers being here first? Who knows? What did Christopher Columbus do? He came here, we go boop boop, he goes, oh, this one's for me. That one's, oh, Cleopatra, yeah, that one's for you. CK, oh, sure, Calvin Klein, you can have the whole row. Yeah, we don't need that. We'll take the two sisters up here on Highway 80. Yeah, rocking on by Oregon. Thought of the gold, thought of the mountains. There's gold in them hills. Oregon. What do you think they call it Oregon? Because it means Aragon. It means the air of man. Something has to do with those hills. So we're looking here between May 4th and May 11th, okay, in which, because this is the 44th presidency, okay, it could be this year or it could be next year, okay. If this year, it would be 3 by 4 is 12 and 3 of 4 is 12, which means 2012, and 12 months, which means 2013, and I mean 2011, 12 is 2012, and 12 months be 2013 in the month of May, or 2014. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years is 12. 4 months, 4 months is 8. It's 2013, 2014. The day is between May 4th, and it has to reflect the Boston Tea Party. So if it would be the reflection of the first year of the Boston Tea Party, and don't forget, there have already been presidents that have ended their term and died, and then 90 years later, to almost a date, something happened. So that would mean 44, Barack Obama, 44, Barack Obama, 44 for space, 44 for the word pair is May 4th. Now, that might be this year, the inauguration, and this, don't forget, we have 20 months, so there's only 2 May 4ths. What's going to happen? Something to do with the Tea Party, 1771, and this is 241 years later. 242 would be dead center. 241, 242, that's all there's going to be is 242, and that's already over. So anyways, I know you can't understand it, but it has to do with the day I got sick, that if we go 10 years in front of the day I got sick, we'll be coming up to the year of TO. And everything's been working out to things that have happened to me for some reason or other. Obviously, it's my book. They came out with these tokens, the Indian tokens, and who runs North America? When Quebec had Jacques Cartier, and Quebec is known to be 400 years old in the writings. How old is the U.S.? You see, this whole video, I mean, I went the wrong way with it. I didn't want to compare who's old, who should know more, and just to bring back the scenarios of who came here when the world was flat and how they're thinking where the map was at the time. Does everything jive together? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, dinosaurs only exist because they made them exist in your head. Somehow, boom, you woke up. There were 1,000 people on the farm. No one was there yesterday, but you're all computerized. You started somewhere else. They flew you in. They started your brain from a new point. You wouldn't know nothing. All you'd know is short-term memory from yesterday, and you'd build on from that. Pretty weird world out there, isn't it? So that's right, the 124th day. Okay? If it was next year, it would be 2014 on the 124th day, which would be the 4th day of the week or the 5th day of the week of 2014, when the 44th president would be the 44th president to his second term and starting into his second year, the 44th president. So that. Now, what is that supposed to mean to me? I have no idea. All I keep going back is there's 21 months left to go. The soldiers should just come home. But you have to come home with a plan. You just can't come home like that. They're going to lock you up because you decided not to do wrong. You decided to do right, so you're getting locked up, boys. So you don't come home like that. You can stay where you are if you want, but eventually they'll stop sending you food. You have to make sure you set this up right, boys, when you want to get out. because they don't really care. They'll send other boys on you, but I don't think boys against boys is going to work in this army. You know what I'm saying? If one of you boys decides to turn around and all the boys take the same size, these are boys. They know. They act as boys. You boys, you understand, boys? When you decide to pick the right side, right, there's nobody that can go against you. Why would somebody go against you? You know who would go against you? The small little armies that you have. But you knock out these guys, and there's no one left, just you. Only the army is in charge. One army, one time. That's it. There's no other armies. There's no other conflict. There's no conflict. There's no conflict. Imagine winning a war by doing what the chicken did best for the last 100 years. What did the chicken do? He crossed the streets. Well, you guys don't even have to cross the street. All you have to do is close your eyes and say, I do. And you become the masterminds of America. Did you know that, Army men? If you all decide not to fight and stick together, you become the masterminds of the entire U.S. Okay, you'll have short little incomings with other things, but you'll be the only army to have won without moving a muscle, other than saying I do. Pretty weird, eh? Raphael 72 11 11 86. The constellation of Pegasus. I just want the good for everybody. I'm not leaving my chair. I can't do very much over here. And even if I was over there, what can I do other than my voice? Well, my voice is heard from here, so I guess that's good enough for me. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I look fucked up today. I don't know why. Look at this. I have been smoking this since yesterday. Can't smoke. I don't know if it's the thyroid gland pill that's making me more buzzed than I should normally get. So I can't smoke because it makes me a little bit nervous. It's probably the thyroid gland that's doing that, but I can't seem to get a doctor that doesn't threaten me. If you don't take that, you know, we'll get sued, eh? You don't take that and die, we're getting sued. Oh, shit. Everybody, no wonder nobody likes Sue. Hey, Sue, what's happening? Sue, we gotta sue you, got a penny. You want to sue me, you gotta have sue many, because there's many behind me that stand so tall. You can't just go and sue us all. Then you decide and sue insane, and you just know it's you to blame. I wish I was able to do a little, like, poetry or something. In motion. Situational poetry. In motion. Locomotion. You know, you had the guy out there doing the locomotion. His name was, what was his name again? Elvis. Elvira. Okay. I sound like a real crackpot. The Tea Party, not only about the Tea Party, but on your computer keyboard, when you type in T, you jump over R, which would be Tree Party, or it would actually say treason, right in the same area. Treason, tree, Tea Party. P is on the other side. They made sure that they separated these letters on the keyboard, okay, so that they could make certain mistakes, but they wouldn't make the same mistakes that would actually change the entire thought of the phrase. But they did also put letters together and make words as tree and three and T, all in the same area, so you can make that mistake, because it was made that way to tell a story. So we can see it now where the letters are. It says des, D-E-S, des, said, see, so, all near the same area. But they made sure that they separated the Q from the U, that when you go to press the U, it's going to be your furthest away finger, or this one that's going to press it. But at time it moves over from the Q all the way over to the U if it's not pressed by the other finger. Because by the time you set your fingers like this up, the Q is here, the U is here, this finger would miss it, so this finger would come in and hit the U, and that's how we connect the two parts of the keyboard of Q and U, in which T and Y are a center leg scenario, because the T is a center leg, covers two sides, and the Y is a division as so. It's the big Y, the Y that divides, that says who it is. Y is Y, I divide. Raphael 7286. Do you have anything you want to ask me? Go ahead. Like I said, I don't know anything at all, but I know a little bit, but I don't know much. But whatever I know, if it helps you, then that's good enough for us. But if it doesn't help you when you ask, well, at least you tried. Like I said, I don't know everything. Thank you. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus.